I'm driving down the highway. I swerved to hit the fucking pothole. Now all of a sudden I'm swerving like, ah! What's up? It's Mr.Skizamanops. And let me just explain a little bit about what this podcast pretty much is. And later on we might transition into some different material with the podcast. But for now, what it's going to be is basically every 30 days, every month, I'll be doing a podcast explaining about what goes on in my life within a 30-day period, a whole month basically. And I'll be telling you guys stories and different things that happened with my life within a 30-day period. So episode 2 is pretty juicy, let me tell you. So the last time I talked to you guys, I told you guys that I do not necessarily have a girlfriend. Well, that has definitely changed. I'm on Facebook dating and I found somebody, and a while back, well, actually not a while back, about a week ago, or maybe 2 weeks now, we decided to go out to a concert. We actually found this independent artist called Civilian Soldier. They were playing a show in Wichita. I live in Topeka, so I had to travel like an hour and a half, or an hour and 90 minutes, whatever it was, like an hour and a half to get there. But anyway, so I also got extremely fucking sick. I got food poisoning again, which it was my choice. Well, not really my choice, but it was really my decisions that led up to the food poisoning, and we'll elaborate on that a little bit throughout the podcast. So, yeah, this is going to be episode 2 with me, Mr.Skizamanops of the Fourth Element podcast. So, starting off at the beginning, I mentioned to you guys that I have a girlfriend, that I found a girl on Facebook Marketplace. No, it's not Facebook Marketplace. It's a Facebook dating. I don't know why I keep getting the two, Facebook dating and Marketplace, confused. Let's be honest though, they're pretty much the same thing. Anyway, I went to this concert with this girl, and basically, let me explain a little bit about her before I get into the whole concert thing. So she is, I'm pretty sure she's 34 or 35 years old. She's 2 years older than me. I'm 32 and I'll be 33 in July. So yeah, she's 2 years older than me. She has 4 kids, which is like, whoa, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. No. Anyway, she's got 4 kids, and basically I met them a few times here and there, and I don't know, we connected in such a way to where I really like her and she really likes me, but I'm not so sure if it's going to be like a long-term situation. Again, I can't rule anything out just yet. I'm gonna have to wait and find out what happens in the future, but as of right now, things are pretty good. I was over there doing a bunch of cleaning and stuff over at her house, because not that she needed me to do it, but I kind of wanted to do a little bit of cleaning because she's super busy. She's a therapist. She works from home and spends a lot of time on her computer doing different notes and different things and taking care of different people. She works for some sort of like therapy prison thing. I'm not really too sure exactly what her job title is, but she's like a therapist that helps with prisoners. But anyway, right now she's actually off on her job. She's doing something up north in Nebraska, or somewhere north of Nebraska or something like that. Every now and again she has to go on site and do therapy on site. Anyway, regardless of all that, we do kick it off. We do have some good times together, and we just so happen to decide, you know what, there's a concert coming up in Wichita. Let's go ahead and go to it. Let's find out what it is. Also, I'm not saying that I'm into this band, Civilian Soldier, because I'm not really into like rock music per se. I mean, I like all different varieties of music, don't get me wrong, but rock music is sort of on like the low end scale for me. You know, I'm more of a retro wave kind of guy, more of like a techno, rap music kind of, you know, listening to instrumentals and beats kind of person. But anyway, so we went to this Civilian Soldier concert, and we got there, I'd say, I don't know, 45 minutes before they started the actual main event started. Because typically at these events, they'll have other smaller bands that are trying to make their way up into the ranks of the music industry. They'll have them play first, and they were pretty good. They were all right. Some of the other, like I said, some of the bands aren't necessarily my style of music, but again, I enjoyed it regardless. But since I haven't really been to a concert, and I wasn't necessarily looking forward to really like I said, whenever I go to like a concert or a music festival or something like that, like I really do a lot of research and find out exactly if it's the kind of festival that I'm really going to enjoy or if I'm really going to like it or not. But anyway, this particular one, again, I wasn't a fan of rock music, so I wasn't really looking forward to this. So I was a little bit nervous going to this place because, again, I wasn't expecting. This is my very first time like actually going to an event with this girl. I was driving her car, and I'm not really used to driving a different vehicle other than mine. I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was pretty good. But anyway, so yeah, man, we went there and we started, bands were playing, but I kind of got nervous, like I mentioned to you, and I don't know why I keep going back and forth on this, but like I said, I kind of was a little nervous going to this place, and so I was a little bit hungry, so I ate some breaded chicken, some chicken tenders, put, you know, frozen chicken tenders, great value, put them in the oven, let them cook, ate them before I came here. Sure enough, as soon as I got done eating, my girlfriend just so happened to pull up, and so we were all ready to go. So on our way to Wichita to go to this concert, we stopped about halfway through at a rest stop, or you know, like a eating place. Like they had Dairy Queen and like Taco Bell and all kinds of little places you can eat to pull off and go to the bathroom and all that good shit. A rest stop basically. And you know what? Before I even ate that chicken, I was kind of feeling a little like sugary, if you will. I wanted to eat a little sugary snack. That's kind of what I wanted to eat, but I decided to eat the chicken instead. So anyway, we stopped at Dairy Queen. I ended up getting the ice cream. It was like a brownie blaster or something like that. It was basically just chocolate ice cream, vanilla ice cream, and a brownie at the bottom with some whipped cream at the top. Pretty simple shit, right? So I ate that. We get back on the road and we go all the way to this place. We finally get there. And by the way, my girl didn't eat anything the whole time we was going there. And so by the time we got to the place, she was a little hungry and wanted to eat some food there. They had a food court thing set up, sort of, but it was basically, it was just, you only had two options. You either could eat the nachos or you could eat the tacos. And she chose the tacos, and the way that they made the tacos for her, I wasn't exactly sure if that was just a traditional thing, that the way they did it there, or if that was just something that she specially ordered. Well, come to find out, she specially ordered these tacos, and she made them with just like chicken and cheese, so that way, just in case I was a little bit hungry, I could eat them as well and enjoy them, because I don't really like tacos with a whole bunch of unnecessary shit on them, like lettuce, fucking sour cream, all this other shit, olives, all this other like stuff that people like to eat tacos with. I don't like it. I like cheese and meat, period. That's all I like on my fucking taco. So anyway, somehow somebody's gonna take a joke from that, I already know. But anyway, so she ordered 4 tacos, and she ate 2, I ate 2, and I was pretty good. And then the bands were starting and shit was super loud up in there, and then she gets like really nervous around crowds of people. So she wanted to go outside to the outside area and sit down for a little bit and kind of get around away from those crowds of people, all the way up until the band started to start. Soon as the band started to start the main event, Civilian Soldier, I started to get a little bit of hungry again for some reason. I don't know, maybe it was just a nervous tick for me. Maybe I just felt like maybe I wanted to eat. I must have been one of those things where I didn't necessarily want to be there, but I toughed it out because I wanted to be there with somebody and have a great time, or at least try to have a good time with my girl. So I walked up to the food court guy and I was like, yo, let me get some more tacos. I'm a little bit hungry. I didn't really specifically tell him anything about how to put it on there, so I just said, let me get these. So he made it in the back, handed it to me. Of course, My stupid ass didn't realize how they made them, so they put fucking sour cream, they put fucking lettuce, and they put all kinds of nasty shit on it that I don't fucking like. Tomatoes, nasty, disgusting. So without me saying anything, because I didn't want to cause a ruckus, I just took it, accepted the bullshit, tried to clean some of it off to where I could eat it, and I only took like 2 bites out of it, and then went around the corner and threw the shit in the fucking trash because my stupid ass didn't order it right. Also, there's music blasting in the fucking air, like everywhere, and you like, in order to hear somebody, you got to be like, you know, and then they got to do the same thing back to you in order for you to hear them. It's like, holy shit, bro, why did I even try to get any food here? You can't hear any fucking thing. I can't order my fucking food. But that's pretty much what you're gonna deal with when you're in a small enclosed building with very limited space and music blasting in your fucking ear. So after I got the food, I walked up to the bar. I was like, you know what? I want to have some grid. I want to be a little bit drunk. I want to feel good. So I went and got a Modelo, and obviously at these places, their prices are going to be jacked way the fuck up. And so just so you know, I paid $12 for the fucking tacos. I got 4 tacos, which I didn't eat, threw them in the trash because they made them like shit. And the beer was fucking $10 for a tall can. A tall can of beer was $10 for a Modelo. How ridiculous. And typically at the liquor store, those are only like under $5 at the liquor store. But because this was an event, because this was a fucking concert, people are gonna jack the prices up like a motherfucker. So, as you guys may know, with the direction of the story, the way that it's going, the concert was over. We got tired of staying there. We was gonna get a motel, stay there at Wichita, but I was like, nah, I'm not trying to stay overnight because my dad was gone for a few days in Missouri. I didn't want to leave my house alone by itself overnight. Not that it would have made any difference, because I don't really have, this isn't really necessarily a bad neighborhood, so I'm not really having too much to worry about people breaking into my shit. But just as a worry, as I was just kind of worried, I didn't really want to. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. This is a terrible fucking podcast. This is horrible. I'm gonna upload the shit anyway. I don't give a fuck. So anyway, I go back, and as soon as I get home, I'm not really feeling very well. We were supposed to spend the night together, but I was like, nah, I'm not feeling very well. I'm just gonna go inside, lay down, and go to sleep. So I ate some noodles right before I go to sleep. Not ramen noodles, but they were like some fettuccine, like creamy chicken kind of noodles, like, you know, in the packets you can get. So I ate one of those. By the way, just so you know, my stomach was completely fine. Wasn't really, it was a little irritated because I got all that food and shit in my stomach, but I go to sleep. I wake up at like fucking 4 o'clock in the morning with my guts fucking horribly in pain, my stomach horribly cramping, throw up all my food, all the nasty shit that I ate, the fucking chocolate ice cream, the beer, the fucking small tacos, all that shit got thrown up, and yet my stomach was still in pain. I think I still had like small amounts of the ice cream still left in the bottom of my stomach, like in the very basement level of my stomach. And I couldn't get that shit up. And in order for me to feel better, I'd have to either throw it up or poop it out, and pooping it out was not an option because that shit was not happening. My stomach was having some digestive problems. I wasn't digesting my food properly. So the next option that I had was to throw up whatever was in my stomach causing the irritation and try to reset my system. Well, that took all day. I was in pain all day. By the way, I told my girl that I wasn't feeling very well, that I was sick, because the very next day we were supposed to hang out and spend some more time together. But I was super sick. My stomach was in extreme pain, and I was throwing up all over the time, all over the place. But my girlfriend come over, gave me some Pepto-Bismol, gave me some noodles and some other things to try to eat, to try to get me the sickness to go away. But it wouldn't go away, and it wasn't until like 7 o'clock the next morning that I finally threw up that one last time, and my stomach finally was able to sustain itself and finally get back to a normal feeling. But of course, I was throwing up all day and all night that night, that my brain was on fire from pushing on it. My stomach was still irritated like fuck from pushing on it, from dry heaving. And by the way, these fucking throw up sessions were extremely violent. And I mean, I'm talking like fucking full on. I mean, literally like, bro, you need to go to the hospital kind of thing. But I toughed it out and I didn't need to go to the hospital, and I am much better now. So, this is probably something that I probably should have mentioned right at the beginning of this episode, because this is something that happened to me yesterday, and I wasn't really intended to add this to the episode, but it wasn't until the next day, today, when I decided, you know what, I'm gonna re-record this episode and fucking upload it with all the proper information that I wanted to put in there in the first place. So, yesterday, as you guys may know, I have a Coleman mini bike that I ride around. It's a 49cc motor. And if you didn't know, that if it's a 49cc bike, at least typically in Kansas where I'm at, you don't need a bike license to ride it. And you don't necessarily need to fucking, well, you don't necessarily need a bike license to ride it, but you also don't ride it on the street either. It's also technically legal to ride the mini bike on the sidewalk, considering it's a 49cc bike. It's not big enough, it doesn't have gears or anything, you can't go too fast with it. It's like 25-30 mile an hour at the most. So with that said, I can legally ride my mini bike on the sidewalk. And there's a lake nearby where I live called Shawnee Lake. If you live in Topeka, Kansas, you know what Shawnee Lake is. And I decided, at a risk, I knew this was risky doing this, but I decided, you know what, I'm gonna ride my mini bike down to Shawnee Lake and do a lap around the lake, just like joggers do, and just like everyone else does on their regular pedal bike. You know, their regular pedal bike, they don't have no motor or anything. People ride them all day, every day, all around Lake Shawnee. And there's even like electric scooters. Now, I typically didn't see any electric scooters out there at the time yesterday, but I guarantee you there's people out there with electric scooters that ride around the lake with no issue, no problem at all. But of course, with me being me, and with me going out of my way, riding my mini bike on the sidewalk, of course the park police would fucking pull me over. Stupid ass motherfuckers, man. They pull me over, talking about how, you know, you're not supposed to ride them on the sidewalk around here. I go, no, I didn't realize that. I looked it up online and it said it was legal in the state of Kansas for me to ride a 49cc mini bike on the sidewalk. And if I'm not too sure, what we're on right now is a motherfucking sidewalk. And so he proceeds to tell me, oh, well, we're a different district than the outside Topeka County. We're considered, I can't really remember what he called it, but he called it something like we're in a different jurisdiction when you're on the lake. Well, I was like, okay, motherfucker. And so obviously with him being a cop, motherfucker wanted to ask me for my ID. You got an ID on you? Can I see your ID? And of course, with me not being a troublemaker, I'm not trying to cause no shit with the fucking police, regardless whether it's a regular police officer or a park police officer. I'm not trying to cause no shit, because regardless of how much you know the law, he has more authority over you no matter what no matter how much you like it. Police have more authority over you in any situation. That's just the fucking way it is in this country. So I obliged. I gave him my ID willingly because I don't have any criminal record. I've never been arrested, never been to prison, never been booked in the fucking jail system, never been any of that bullshit. So the dude went into his truck. I sat there and waited. He walked in that motherfucker with his sunglasses on, ran my name, probably talked to his fucking supervisor on the phone, because again, he's probably, it's one of those things where if he's pulling me over on my mini bike, not knowing the law, not knowing that it's 49cc is a legal fucking thing that I can have on the sidewalk, regardless whether I'm in your jurisdiction or I'm in the city limits, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm still in the legal right. So he ran my name, probably talked to his supervisor, wanted to get extra information because I'm sure he was stupid enough to not know what the law is. Then he come out of his truck with my ID in hand, with his glasses off, by the way, and it's still bright and sunny out. I didn't take my sunglasses off because I didn't feel the need to. By the way, I'm telling you very small little details of the story that's kind of irrelevant. That's kind of the way I tell stories. But anyway, dude looked at me like he fucked up. Basically, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna let you off for a warning right now. And before he even ran my name, he's like, if everything comes back clear, I'm just gonna let you off for a warning. I'm like, all right, cool. I knew you were gonna do that anyway, because you know there's no legal bounds. There's nothing legally you can fucking pin on me for riding my mini bike on this fucking sidewalk, especially even if it's in your stupid jurisdiction. I don't give a fuck, you know? I know the law. But of course, these little dick swinging fucking guys over there at Shawnee Lake think they own the place, and they see one small little thing that's out of place. They gotta immediately attack it. Bunch of fucking pussies. That's what I say. Bunch of fucking bitches. So anyway, he was basically telling me, you don't live too far away from here, but I suggest you just take it straight home. Just take it straight home. I was like, oh, okay, man, it's whatever. I guess from here on out, I'll just load it up in my truck and take it down to Oakland Trails. And by the way, for those of you that don't know what Oakland Trails is a dirt bike trail that is right along the side of the river, and it's legal. Everything's legal down there. The city knows about it. It's what the dirt bike trails are there specifically for people to ride dirt bikes and mini bikes and shit down there. But with my 49cc bike, I should be legally, and I still am legally, able to ride it on the sidewalk. I can ride my mini bike on the sidewalk anywhere in the major city, anywhere, without having any problems with the cops. Now, is that going to say the same thing about later on in the future? Will I get pulled over by the cops on the sidewalk? Maybe if there's cops that are wanting to be assholes that day, they could potentially pull me over and give me trouble. But I've had police look at me while I'm riding my mini bike on the sidewalk, and they looked at me and they don't say a fucking thing. I've even had a couple cops wave at me like, hey, how you doing? You know, just waving at me like, hey, you have a nice day. I don't give a fuck that you're riding a mini bike on the sidewalk because it's fucking legal. Anyway, so let's transition to something more positive. So I talked about my girlfriend, I talked about the mini bike situation, and I really should write down these things on notes. I should really have notes for this, but eventually I'll get better at this podcast thing. So, talked about my girlfriend, talked about the mini bike, talked about how much shitty Shawnee Lake is, and by the way, I'm never fucking going back to that place, even if I to go casually fishing or just to walk down the sidewalk. Fuck Lake Shawnee. If they're not gonna allow me to ride my mini bike, fuck them. But to transition into something a little bit more positive, I'm going to be getting a new job here pretty soon, and I think I may have mentioned this in the previous podcast, episode 1, maybe, I don't know, maybe not, I don't think I've got, maybe, yeah, I don't think I did mention this in the last episode, but I currently work as a manager at Five Below, and that job fucking sucks. Even though it is part-time, it still sucks. Like, literally, there's nothing to do there at the job. I have other employees that are under me, and every time I go there, they're already working on, like, the recovery and pretty much the bare minimum of the stuff that needs to be done around the store. So whenever I go there, I typically don't have nothing to do except take returns back. Anybody, like, stuff that people got up to the counter and didn't want, or was too expensive and they didn't want this stuff. There's a lot of that. And I have to take all that shit and put it back on the shelves, which only takes about 20-30 minutes at the most. Anyway, so once I'm done with that, there's literally nothing else to do. And so what I do is I'll go in the back, find out what, like, basketballs, football, soccer balls, any of those things need to be aired up and put out on the shelf. I do that, but no, normally there's not really a whole lot of that. People don't typically buy too many baseballs, basketballs, footballs, and all that good shit, even though that's what Five Below is known for. So I typically sit there for about 4.5 hours, pretty much doing nothing. Like literally, when yesterday when I was at work, I literally got there, did the returns, and then went into the back and got really tired. Took a fucking 45-minute nap. I laid down on the fucking break table. I even got keys to the office. So I can go into the office and lay down in there and fucking chill. I did that all the way up until 5 o'clock when I got there at fucking 3. And then as soon as 5 o'clock comes around, I went outside to go on my lunch. And I took a little bit longer than usual. And then, like again, like half the time when I'm at Five Below, I'm not doing shit. There is stuff to do around there, but it's kind of like, why even do this? And there's really no point. It's kind of fucking stupid. I'm so sick of working there. And what's even worse is I'm only getting paid fucking $12 an hour. Technically, I'm supposed to get paid $13 an hour. I think I might be getting paid $13. I don't 100% know for sure. But when I got hired there, my boss fucking hired me. She says, oh, I can only swing $12 an hour. And at the time I was like, whatever, fuck it. I need something because I have so much shit in the pawn shop and I have a bunch of other expenses I have to take care of. I need some sort of income coming in at the time. So I accepted the job, $12 an hour, but I'm supposed to be getting paid $13. I don't know what happened with that. And again, I get my checks direct deposited into my bank account, so I don't really know where to go to check my bank status or my check stub. But anyway, so my cousin hit me up a couple weeks ago, and he's like, yo, I went and bought a brand new $8,000 fucking dirt bike, a badass dirt bike. I want you to come over and ride it with me. And we can go riding, because he knows I have like a little miniature dirt bike, or a Coleman mini bike. He's like, yo, let's go riding together. And I'm pretty sure maybe at some point today, I think we're supposed to do that. Go riding today. I don't know. I'm gonna have to hit him up here in a little bit and see what the deal is with all that. But he was telling me, yo, man, we have some opportunities at my job. He works at a company called HME, which is a metal fabrication company. I don't know what HME stands for, but I'm sure if I looked it up on Google, it'll tell me. But anyway, HME is a metal fabrication company. They work with a bunch of steel beams and a bunch of metal, and they start out at like $19-20 an hour. And if you work there throughout the 90 days and you gain the benefits after the 90 days, they have all kinds of insane medical benefits. You have like basically anything through the doctors, taken care of, doctor offices, visits, dental, all kinds of benefits. And they pay every single week, which the job I'm working now pays every 2 weeks, and I'm only getting paid $12-13 an hour. So which means every single 2 weeks I'm getting under $1,000. I'm getting like $500 to $600 every 2 weeks, which is bullshit money. I mean, a job is a job, and making money any way you can is better than not having any money coming in. But still, like, I need a more consistent pay. I need a more increased payment, and I just in general need more money. And with my situation, there shouldn't be any reason why I shouldn't be able to have a lot of money saved up. I want to get paid every week. Now the hours are extreme. They're a little crazy. I could either work 3 days, 12-hour days, which is a long fucking time, or I could work 4 days for 10-hour days, which to me kind of seems like it's a better option. But also, like, if I can stick it out for another 2 hours after working for 10 hours, I would much rather do like 3 days for 12 hours and then get the rest of the week off. I would much rather do that instead of like what I'm working at now. Even though it is part-time and I do get a lot of time during the day off, I would much rather wake up in the morning, go to my job, spend the first 4 or 5 hours working throughout the morning time, and then spend the rest of the 4 or 5 hours or 6 hours, however much it is, in the afternoon, and just get a full day's work in. Not only that, is when I go to this HME place, there's going to be all kinds of stuff to do there. It's not like I'm going to be going there and sitting on my ass not doing nothing like I'm doing now. That's one thing that I can't stand. I can't stand going to a place and not doing anything. Because if I'm going to go to a place and not do anything, I might as well just be fucking doing it right here, doing YouTube or just playing video games at my house. I mean, even though I am making money while I'm at the job, still, I don't like going to a place and not doing nothing. Because in general, I don't want to fucking be there anyway. I don't want to be at the job anyway. So for me to go to a job and actually work on something and actually physically using my time in a productive way would be much better for me, because that way I'm not focusing on the time, I'm not falling asleep, all this other shit. A couple of weeks ago, before we even talked about all this, I actually got on the Five Below computer and filled an application out for the HME company. So I already filled out an application for them, but they said it's going to take about a week or two or a little bit longer in order for them to like actually go through the hiring process and all that good shit. I'm really hoping that I can land this fucking job. I mean, if I can even get an interview with somebody, you know, like, also he told me that if the whole online thing doesn't work, I could also go to the HME company itself and go in there and talk to somebody. And I'm pretty sure they have their own like hiring computers or whatever, their computers at their place that I could use to fill out another application if I truly need to do that. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much going to be it for today's podcast, or for this month's podcast. So I did tell you about my girlfriend. I told you about the show we went to. I told you about the food poisoning I got, which was horrible. I told you about the mini bike. I told you about the new job that I'm going to be potentially getting soon. And that's pretty much it. I think that's everything that has gone on in my life between the last episode and this episode. So for those of you that enjoyed this podcast, consider hitting the subscribe button and consider hitting the like button, because again, for those of you that, just in case you didn't know, hitting the like button is going to help me grow my channel. Hitting the subscribe button is going to let you guys be uploaded or notified when the next upload is. I don't really need to go through the whole YouTube spiel. It's 2025. You guys know what you need to do if you like the content. But with that said, I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. I will be trying to work on some other videos in between now and the next episode 3. So hopefully you guys can look forward to that. Again, I have a lot of time. I've got optimized, not really optimized with my job and different shit like that. And literally, I'm thinking about putting my 2 weeks in, even though I don't have another job yet. I'm thinking about putting my 2 weeks in because I'm just so sick of going to this stupid fucking job at Five Below. It sucks. I hate it. But anyway, I appreciate you guys and thank you for tuning in, and I will see you the next time I do a video or live stream.